Who You With CurtDog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. I'm Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. Welcome to Speak On It. 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 Welcome to Speak. 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 Who You With CurtDog.
Happy Wednesday to everyone. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With CurtDog. I'm Who You With CurtDog. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, D Live, Periscope, Twitch, and also Twitter. Want to welcome y'all to the show. You can live chat with us in the chat room, and we can definitely chat back with you. So everyone is welcome on the show. No, we have a habit lately. We've been getting a lot of cuckoos for Cocoa Puff on the show. So if you come in, only thing we ask you be respectful. If not, you'll get blocked. So that's how you have it. So tonight we're gonna kind of make it of a semi-fun night, hopefully. So we're gonna talk about Alice Sweet. Yeah, when I read that name, I'm like, wasn't it a movie or something called that? But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're going to talk about Alice Sweet. Then we're also going to talk about Chris Wray. Chris Wray, the FBI director. Yeah. And then also we're going to tonight is Wednesday. So you know what time it is. It's Ask CurtDog Anything. So if you have questions for me, you can ask and I will answer. So hopefully y'all are ready for it. So definitely be ready for the answer because I will ask everything. What's going on, Radio Chaos? My brother from Canada. Welcome to the show. Missed you last night. I said that storm hitting up their way. So I said, boy, oh no, you on the west side. My bad. I'm thinking on the East Coast. But yeah, I missed you last night. But glad that you're here tonight. So I'm doing research today and I'm up there and I'm like, okay, this cannot be another incident. And I cannot make these stories up. I'm working on my second book, but there's no way I can make these type of stories up. So the headlines read, Chainsaw Welding Man arrested after chasing people at a Westbrook McDonald's. I'm like, no, not another chainsaw. We just had this incident a couple of weeks ago, and which is crazy. So apparently, this guy went into a McDonald's yesterday afternoon. Went in. Alice Sweet is his name. Now that name may sound familiar because there was a old movie called Alice Sweet Alice that came out back in '76 with Brooke Shields off in it. So when I pulled it up, I'm like, no, this cannot be true. So the man went into the McDonald's, had a chainsaw. First clue, something is wrong. Why are you going to a McDonald's with a chainsaw? That should have threw up a red flag already. So he goes in and uh, go behind the counter. Went behind the counter and grab a drink. Well, first he revved up the chainsaw, and the employees and customers started running. And he grabbed some food and a drink and walked out. Now the manager, I don't know why, but the manager decided to chase him. First of all, I've worked in the food industry as a teenager. First thing they tell you, somebody come in, rob the place, don't you chase them. Manager decided to chase them. They go out. The guy started chasing the manager with the chainsaw, and in the process, damaged two cars. Incident happened about 3:30 yesterday, and which is crazy. Of course, he was later arrested, but I'm like, you really gonna rob a McDonald with a chainsaw? Now, maybe the guy was hungry. I don't know, because when you down on your luck, you're gonna do what you have to do. But maybe he was hungry and he really wanted and get something to eat. I don't know. He was arrested um, for a couple of charges, and it happened in uh, I guess Portland, Maine. The police department was Westbrook, Maine. Uh, exactly. In worst case scenario, if he was hungry, maybe he should have just went in and explained to the manager, "Hey, I'm down on my luck. I'm hungry. Can you please help me?" That's the best thing you could do. Um, the manager probably would have gave him something, or probably would have said, "Hey, can you sweep my parking lot for me?" Um, if I would have seen the guy and said he's hungry, I'll go in and buy you something to eat. No problem. Um, um, so I'm like, cool. But either way, the guy did end up going to jail. Um, the police caught him down the street by a tire shop. He was charged with robbery, criminal mischief, refusing to submit to arrest, and violating his condition of release. So apparently, he may already been arrested before, and they let him out. So I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully the guy gets some help. I don't know what it was, but they said he entered the restaurant, and while revving the saw, he went behind the counter where employees were preparing food and stole a drink and food. Um, and that's how that went down. So, and not only that, they're also saying that every on duty police officer in Westbrook responded to the 911 call. Um, he was located near the VIP tires on Riverside Street, but fled when officer approached. He was apprehended without incident near the Fireside Inn. And no injuries was reported, so that's a good thing. But can you imagine being inside of a restaurant, somebody come in with a chainsaw? First of all, uh, after COVID gets over and I'm sitting in a restaurant and I see somebody walking toward a restaurant with a chainsaw, I'm out of there. Because ain't nothing good finna happen with that. Nothing at all. And um, he lucky someone wasn't didn't have the LTC and then open fire. Because it at that point he's threatening people's life. It's would have been justified. So hopefully get some help and go from there. Um, man, that was crazy. But then when I found out it was a movie called Alice, Sweet Alice. Now the sometimes the name that you give your child may not always be that good because you name your child after a horror movie, and now look at him. I'm just saying that's not good. Um, I can't even remember if I even seen that movie. Probably not. Uh, so back in '76, no, I could guarantee I didn't see that. I was underage, way underage. So, um, so then the story came out today about the White House. Um, Chris Wray. Yeah, Donald Trump was warned by his White House counsel not to fire FBI director. Mhm. I wonder why. He've already fired one. Now, why? I'm not going to even ask that question because we are talking about Donald Trump. Um, um, I don't know why he would actually fire somebody, and you have less than a month to go. I think a lot of people have done great jobs that was there. They done okay jobs, but they couldn't do their job properly for the simple fact that um Trump wanted them to do it one way. He's kind of like the president of kind of like Jerry Jones. It's everything got to be his way. He have to have his hands on everything. So in order for them to do their job, they had to follow Trump lead, regardless of what position they was in. Trump ran everything instead of allowing these people to do their job. And when they went against him, he talked about he either fired them or wanted to fire them. So that's just Trump. I don't don't agree with the way that he done things, but that's what Trump do. That's Trump for you. A lot of people may not see a problem with that, but if you put people in certain position, you have to be able to allow them to do their job where it could be more successful. Instead, you basically doing a hostile work environment because you micromanaging them on everything. Um, oh, excuse me. So, yeah, he was warned not to fire him uh, because they said Trump could be putting himself in jeopardy. I'm not surprised at all. Uh, welcome, Robin. Welcome to the show. I hope you feeling better. Um, yeah, that's normal administration for him. He have to have his hands in everything. Robin said it's unbelievable that the entire Republican Party isn't just afraid of Trump. They're pardon to his base, regardless of fact or lack thereof, because they need them. Yeah. Um, I'm glad you feeling better. Been keeping up with you, praying for you. Um, Make sure y'all. I'm gonna say it now because I know a lot of people may not stay in for the whole show, but please make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night with Miss Risky and I. Um, we're gonna have a serious conversation tomorrow, and um, it's gonna be important dealing with everybody. So definitely tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. And she told me I could say it, but I'm always like, hey, it best it should come from you. So just wanted to put that out there. But they said Trump was so close to firing him in the recent months. The White House counsel has warned him not to do so because it could put him in potential legal jeopardy, according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of the discussion and a U.S. official familiar with the discussion. White House lawyers strongly advised Trump against firing another FBI director out of concern that doing so would risk creating the perception that a loyalty test, was being imposed on the position that traditionally has maintained independence from the White House, according to a senior administration official. Um, so, not only that, I'm sure it's um, some things Trump probably have said and done that's gonna bite him in the butt as soon as January the 20th come. So uh, uh, I'm not sure. Let me check and see real quick. Cut my phone down. I heard an email come in. Uh, cut it down because people may end up calling. Um, so I don't know. Let me see if I could pull that up or not. I'm not sure if it is a 10-year sentence, a 10-year position. Uh, like I tell y'all all the time, um, when we live on the show, if something come up, we may have to Google it. Ooh, see, um, yes, it is. It's a 10-year terms. The FBI director is appointed for a single 10-year term by the President of the United States and confirmed by the Senate. The FBI is an agent within the Department of Justice and does the direct report to the Attorney General of the United States. So, yes, you are definitely correct, Radio. Um, so, yeah, Trump would have got himself in some legal battles because, if I'm not mistaken, this guy actually just got into that position. So, that would have. Uh, um, um, that would have caused some problems within itself if um, he fired him. That would not have been good at all, and it would have caused a bunch of issue going on. So um, I'm sorry, I'm getting all type of messages. Um, so that's a good thing. Um, it would have been hell to pay because 9 times out of 10, that dude would have been on vacation for 10 years and our tax dollars still paying him. or they would have had to pay him um, that large settlement. But Trump don't. He don't. He don't think about stuff like that. So that's really why I'm glad he's leaving, because he only think about himself. He don't think about the consequences of anything that he do. And we need a strong leader that's gonna follow the rules and not be concerned about itself. Now, I'm not saying Biden is that person, but that was the person to beat Trump, because there was no way we could have lasted another 4 years with the way that Trump have done and is doing uh, in the White House today. So it's absolutely no way we could have lasted another 4 years with Trump. Now, he may say, and some people may say, he's the best thing since sliced bread, but we all know that's not the truth. Um, so, with that being said, I'm glad that um, somebody had enough sense to stand up to Trump and say, don't fire him. Um, Robin said he isn't a big picture kind of guy. He is not. Yes, he is a psychopath, because that man, he's off. He's off that ledge. As we get closer to January the 20th, we're gonna hear a lot more things that's going on with Trump, and they all not gonna be good. Well, hell, let me be honest. Ain't none of them good. They ain't never been good. Um, so yeah, it's gonna get interesting, because he's gonna do and say more things as we get closer to him to depart, and we need to put a stop to it. So Trump is the best at lashing out at things. Nobody can touch him on that skill. You're right. Nobody can. Nobody can touch him at all, because Trump just a big old kid. That's all he is. Just a big old kid. Think he's playing in a sandbox, and that's pretty much it. There's no other way of putting it. Um, Trump is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Thank you for the hearts, Robin. I'm going through all of the social media. That's why I keep looking left. Uh, but wherever you are listening, you can definitely click the hearts, add them up, because we need it. 2021, we have some great things coming, and it's gonna be pretty off the chain. So once we get everything set up, and and that's where we're gonna go. Um, so it's gonna be a wonderful thing once it's all said and done. Um, but and don't forget, tonight is Ask Curtdog Anything. You can ask me anything, and I will. Here they come. Here they come again. Now, if you want to call somebody a pedophile, and I'm gonna make you look bad, because apparently you okay with going up violating a woman rights and going up and grabbing them by their private parts. So, but you saying I voted for a pedophile. What do you call Trump? Because he said just go up and grab a woman by the cootie cat, and it was caught on audio that he said this, and said they love it, not thinking about the fact that it's violating a woman's right to go up and just violate them by touching them in a way that they don't want to be touched. So for you to make a comment like that, apparently you are a pedophile yourself. Um, who never seen what as facts? That Trump, he said it on audio. He said it. He said, go up and grab a woman by the cootie. So for you to say Trump is not a pedophile, yes, he is. He's a sex offender. That's why he have a lawsuit now from he violated a woman in a back dressing room or something. That's why he's trying to, that's why he really wanted to win this election. So the fact is Trump is the biggest gross pedophile perverted ills in this world because he said himself, they love it. No person loves to be touched unwanted in a private parts. So apparently you must be a sexual offender or a pedophile your own self. So yeah. Um man, y'all, I don't understand it. Taco Junkie 2020. Yeah. That's why Trump on his way out now. Um Uh, yeah, let me change this real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to you, Marcellus. The GOP gave him this power, and now they regret it because they all running their reputation and putting a stain on their record of public service, along with pissing all over our traditional rule of law, constitution, and now our democracy. You're right. You're right. That's why they falling off so much. And for any fool to continue to support Trump, you about as big as fool as Trump. And that's all to it. Uh, this fool on man. Radio said I heard Trump today, neighbor. I heard today Trump neighbors don't want him to live in Mar-a-Lago due to all the security disrupt it will cause. I feel sorry for those people. I do too. There you go. I tell you, these guys, some of these folks, they don't have anything to do. They choose to come in here and they don't realize this is a platform for everybody. Long as you are playing truthful, you're giving us truthful information, no conspiracy theory. And for you to say, because blacks are on the plantation for life, I'm not on the damn plantation. But you can hide behind that keyboard and say what you want to say. So that's your opinion. That's your opinion. Just like I said before the election, if Biden and Harris don't do what they're supposed to do, they will be a one-term president and vice president. I don't hold them. I didn't vote for them because they Democrat. I voted for them because we didn't need that fool in office no more. We had to get that fool out of office. So yeah, that's why I voted for them for. But Marcellus, get back to your question. You miss driving trucks? At times. At times I do. Depends. I got out and I still have a lot of friends that still drive. So I still talk with them from time to time. Got out of it because of the now I own trucks, and the last truck I had before I got rid of it, I just leased on with a company that was throwing drivers around. Let me explain that to you. Um, Marcellus, you would know from Dallas to Streetport is like 189 miles. Now, the company I was leased on to, they wanted to pay $50 to go from Dallas to Streetport. Live load, live unload. And anybody in the trucking industry knows if you get live load, live unload, you could be there all day. You could be there for a whole day on both ends. Now, first of all, $50 is not enough for me to crank up my personal vehicle and drive to Streetport. But they expected me to drive a 18-wheeler from Dallas to Streetport, $50. Now, break it down, I'm gonna spend more than 50 in fuel. I but not have a flat. If I had a flat, that flat could cost, uh, if I could get it to a shop, it's probably gonna be about $300 or $400 for a good used tire. But if I have to call road service and have them come out, that's gonna cost about $1,200 because you got to pay for that miles from their shop to wherever you are, and you got to pay for those miles to go back. That's not including the price of the tire and the labor, and then on top of that, they charge. I want to say it was like $1.50, $2 a mile, because it happened to me one time. I had just crossed over into North Carolina and had a blowout, and it was a shop there, but the shop was closed. It was the Sunday, and I ended up having to call a love that I had passed right before I crossed over the state line. Call that love because they crossed the state line. That was more money. I think I ended up paying about $1,200-$1,300 for that tire. So taking cheap load is not worth it. It's definitely not working. Marcella said, "Hi, Robin, and my guy Radio is in the building." Yeah, Radio is always in the house. I like that. Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I'll say who it was. It was Snyder. I leased on with Snyder, because Snyder taught me a lesson, because one thing they didn't realize before I leased on with them, I used to own a brokerage and I own a trucking company, and I knew how the game played. But what Snyder would do, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, but what they would do, they have they had like 3 companies. Snyder, I forgot what their parent company is. Snyder National, Snyder Trucking, Snyder Brokerage. Before that money got down to before that money got down to the truck, each one of those companies took a percentage, and that's where drivers get screwed at, because the companies, they don't care about those drivers. They are made 3 different cuts on that money before you get down to a owner operator. Company driver, you get paid whatever they want to pay you, whatever they go on radios at that time. But as an owner operator, they cut that money down. That's why in the industry at one point, they will call Snyder allegedly call Snyder the cheap freight, because they rates was very cheap. Their rates was very cheap, and they would cut it down. They will cut it down. But because I knew this business side of it, I knew exactly what they was doing. And I thought it was a mistake. I called them and I said, "Hey, I see all the loads on this board for $50 each." I'm like, "Is that a mistake? Because it's no way you paying trucks $50 each to take the loads 200 miles." It's just no way. A live load and a live unload? No, there's no way to do that. It's just not worth it. Um, you should paint a 70-foot trailer with a mule this say, did you know Ted Cruz born in Canada and drive that around Texas for the next 4 years? Yeah, that would uh that probably wouldn't sit too well um on that one. But I wouldn't waste money on that, because now if I was still driving truck now, uh when I owned trucks, I did flatbed. So that was you always got to work out with flatbed, because you got to throw those straps across. Sometimes you had a tarp. Sometimes you had to throw chains across. So, but you had to do it in a way. Um, um, had to do it in a way um, where it actually was. I'm sorry, somebody sent me a story. Not. Um, uh, so it's definitely have to be done in a way. I love driving. When I first drove, it was just the freedom of it. I'm talking about you get out on that road, got your music going, have your phone, and you just cruising. Um, but you better have some great music, because coming out of Texas going to Denver, um, um, at certain point, it was no phone service for about 3 hours. So you better have satellite radio. You was in trouble. That would have been a long, boring ride. Um, I'm trying to respond back. Uh, da, 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 da. Okay, let me see what they say. Um, so definitely, um, yeah, I love it. I love driving, especially summertime. Uh, 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 okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Um, actually, let me text her. Um, I love driving. Driving was just wonderful. Um, uh, it was just the freedom of it. Now, I will tell you, when I first started driving, you will see a lot of stuff going on down the road. So that was uh not a shocker, but you got a lot of entertainment while you was going down the road. Let's just say that. Got some shows going down the road. Um so it uh Miss Risky sending me messages, so trying to make sure she ready for tomorrow. Uh da, da, da. I'm sorry. Uh so it's easy for me to do it off the phone. So yeah, it was um it was pretty interesting. I love it. When I get back into it, I'm I have a lot of people ask me to get back into it. Um, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it. But it depends on I'm thinking about doing something in it, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna do it just yet. I'm still doing research on things. So if I get back into it, I know I'll be successful in it. People would always talk to me, kind of like how it is on the show, how people love to Once they start listening to me, we basically become like a friendship, and that's what a lot of people have done is people that used to run freight for me. They loved it because I was always fair. Oh yeah, JT. Yeah. Oh yeah, JT. Back JT is always good. But as for blues, man, there's so many good blues artists out there. JT was good. Um, Love Little Milton, Walking the Back Street and Crying. Of course, you know, BB King. Can't go wrong with him. Um, then, you know, when Mel Waiters came out, Hole in the Wall, hell, that was party time then. See, when I used to DJ back in the days, I'm gonna tell y'all this story real quick. Um, so I used to DJ back in the days part time, and my cousin and I, my cousin Adrian, call him Junebug. Uh, I'm gonna have to pull him up. Um, so we went to this party. This guy was throwing a birthday party for his girlfriend, his wife, or somebody. So we go over to the party, and the DJ that was there, he was playing everything he liked, but nobody was moving. Everybody was just sitting around talking, nobody up dancing. And because whenever I DJ, I played for the crowd, what the crowd like. I didn't have to get on a microphone and say anything. The music talked for me. So my cousin, his friend, and we goes to this party, and I went up to the DJ. I said, "Hey man, why don't you play this?" No, 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 they like this, but wasn't nobody dancing. So I said, okay, I go back. I said, "Hey man, I DJ too. Why don't you play this one?" No, 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 they don't want to hear that. Man, I'm about to go to MTV Summer Splash or something. They're gonna pay me $1 million. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna pay me $1 million to come on there. I said, okay. I'm like, if they paying you $1 million, I know I'll clean up. So I went back again, and the guy said, "No, man, they don't want to hear that. If you think you could do a better job, why don't you do it?" And my cousin heard him say it. And my cousin said, I went up to him. I said, "Man, did you hear that?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "I'll be back. I got a couple of CDs in the car. I'll be back." So I used to carry a thing of CDs. I come back up, and first song I played was "Hole in the Wall." Everybody got up, started dancing. Then I played a couple of more songs because whenever I DJ'd, I never played any particular type of music. I played what I felt, um, what the crowd would move to. And as I'm playing, I look up, he's out on the dance floor dancing. And finally, after about 15, 20 minutes, well, the guy who hired the DJ came up to me. "Oh, you need to talk more on the microphone. You need to talk more on the mic." I said, "No, I don't." "Yes, you do." I said, "No, I don't." I said, "First of all, I'm not the one that you paying to do this. I'm trying to help you out." And he was like, "What you mean?" I said, "Look, that's the guy you paying out there on the dance floor dancing." And he looked and he said, uh, "But you need to talk more." "No, I don't." So I said, "Okay." He walked off. I said, "Okay, I'm gonna set him up for a couple of songs." I set him up, and I told the guy, I said, "Hey man, I'm about to roll. I'm about to roll." So as I uh, grabbed up my little couple of CDs I had, tell my cousin him, "Let's roll." We walk out the door. And as we're getting ready to pull off, I stopped and backed up. They said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Look up the hill." They look, everybody leaving the party. And I said, "You know what? I'm done." So I used to go by DJ Hurricane back in the days, and they was like, "Boy, Hurricane done did it again." So I just have a passion for music, and I don't have to say anything on the microphone. My music will talk for me. And they still tease me about that today. We could be sitting up talking or whatever. Man, remember we went to that party and you started DJing at that party, and then when we left, everybody left out too. So we laugh about it. But that was just my thing. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do my best at it, and I've always been that way. So that's a little bit about me. Um, I've thought about trying to get back into it, but it's been so long since I did it, and technology have changed. Oh yeah, ZZ Hill. Oh yeah, ZZ Hill is good. Any most blues you cannot miss me on. ZZ Hill is good. Um, what is It's a local guy here. Golly, he did a remix, Dreaming. I got dreams to remember. Um, I know Johnny Taylor did a version, but it was another guy. Trying to think what's his name, because he actually is on. We're friends on Facebook. Um, I forgot his name, but it'll come to me in a minute. But I'd love to. I would go to a lot of blues shows because when I was DJing, I used to hang out with a lot of DJs on um, KNON, Short Stack, and also with um, uh, golly, what's her name? She was on Soul 73. Boy, she gonna kill me. Yeah, Little Blueberry by Johnny Taylor. Oh yeah. Um, what is K Fully Love? K Fully Love. And I would always, like on weekends when she was on Soul 73, I would go up there sometime and sit in with her. And because I used to do a lot of stuff in the community with different organizations. So she would always let me come up there and promote it. And that was good. Um, did you ever get the opportunity of hearing Johnny Taylor Jr. singing? Because he was another good one. Sound just like his daddy. And the right after Johnny Taylor Sr. passed away, they did a concert and Johnny Taylor Jr. was performing. So he was sounding so much like his dad. One of my aunts, Aunt Dottie, bless her soul, she I had called her and I was like, Aunt, um, I said, man, he sounds just like his daddy. So I'm in the concert and she listening to him. She said, yeah, sound just like him. But he didn't get the fame that his dad did. Um, Unfortunately, he had some issues that happened, but he was a singer. He sounded good before he passed away. Sounded just like his dad. So that was always good. Um, so I used to love being uh in that particular industry, being around some of the people I met. Um, and kind of find out my wife and I we went to a my wife from San Antonio, so her uncle used to work for the Sparrows, and just so happened whenever we came down, he's like, "Hey, let me know in advance. I get y'all some tickets if they playing at home." So we would go, and one time we was just sitting there talking with this guy sitting next to us, and kind of found out it was Mel Waiter's father who knew our uncle. And we sat there and we were just talking. And later on, we found that about it. Uh, what's going on, T Cal? Welcome to the show. I was getting concerned about you. I'm like, wait a minute, where T Cal at? Robin came on tonight. She blessed the show tonight. Um, of course, Radio and Marcellus always supporting the show. Then we had Taco Junkie 2020. I think he used to go by the name Trump 2020. They call him Trump Taco now. So um so that was interesting. Uh Greg Smith is another good local artist. And of course, RL Blues, RL Griffin over at the Blues Palace. Um he put on a great show. Um I've been to the Blues Palace several times, and when he get up and sing no hands, it was on. Yeah, Muddy Waters, he was good. Um, what was that song? Golly, um, God dog. It used to be a song. Uh, Howlin' Wolf is another one. I'm trying to think. What is the song? Uh, a Gypsy Man or something. Um, So you're gonna make me go and pull out all my old music and stuff, because I have three. I have a case that about this about this thick, that uh, that is full of CDs, and it has I think it's two milk crates, and it's three in each one. So I always will keep my old music. Um, Matter of fact, I have a CD that is it BB. Um, I think it might be BB King. I think he did a blues album, not a blues, a gospel album back in the days. I think it was BB King. I still have um, never open it. Um, uh, I want to say it's BB King or something, but it it just back then, and Dallas have some great music, especially live music. They just don't get the recognition like we should get it. Um, that's why I try to support them. RC and the Grits, Sean Martin, of course, Erica Badu is known nationwide, but Dallas um, have a lot of great music here, and I want to say it's a BB King CD I have. I never opened it for the simple fact that I wanted to hold on to it. Um, Still in the original package. So I'm like, hey, um, love Little Milton, Bobby Blue Bland. Um, Bobby Blue Bland was always a good one. I've seen him in Well, I didn't see him. I seen Little Milton in concert a couple of times. I've always wanted to see BB King, but whenever he came, I always had something to do that particular weekend. But I never had the opportunity to see him live. Now I know him, Johnny Taylor, and uh, it was one more person. They did a song together, um, which was really good. Um, let's see. Uh, I think it's uh golly, what is that guy name? Uh It was Stormy Monday. They did it together. Um, it was Johnny Taylor, Bobby Blue Bland, and or no, it was Johnny Taylor. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Little Milton. That whole CD was actually good. Um, yeah, Bobby Rush. That's what it was. I knew it was something B. Bobby Rush, uh, BB King, and Johnny Taylor. Let the Good Time Roll. And then they did Stormy Monday. I think it started off Let the Good Time Roll. So it was always, that's a good CD by itself. And man, we have a lot of great artists. Some have gone on, but some are still around. That's why we need to support our local artists, like T Cal said. Um, Sean right now is he's a beast. He's a beast. And that's who did the theme song. Surprised me. I didn't even know he was doing it. And he just came up. We had to drop something off, and his wife said, "Hey, Sean got something for you." I'm like, "What?" Uh, so I'm going in the room with him. She was like, "No, stay here. You can hear it." And when he played that song, um, every time I hear it, I just get excited. No matter what type of day I'm having, when I hear that song, I get excited. Uh, and much love to Sean Martin, all our local artists, because we have a lot of them. We have a lot of great local artists, and we need to support them, especially during this time, because they're not able to perform like they used to. So we definitely need to support our local artists. A lot of artists actually, but our local, we need to take care of them. Um, so yeah, Stormy Monday. See, Marcel, you should have told me you was gonna ask about blues, and I could have had my music already for you. Um, well, that's cool. What type of cover tunes do you cover radio? Because I know you said you play on cruise ships and everything. And matter of fact, my wife and I said, you know what? As soon as we get off punishment, we're gonna have to take a trip up to Canada. And so I'm like, hey, I'm all for it. We'll go up to Canada and um hang with radio. Yeah, the song called what it is. I swear it remind me of I-20. Little man, Little Milton have several. Uh, it's one particular CD I used to listen to all the time. Matter of fact, okay, cool. Uh, so whenever my wife and I travel, um, she be like, because I have it saved on my iPod. That's how old it is. Um, I have these blues songs. She like at first she used to be like, we're gonna listen to that again. Sure is. If I'm driving, I have to be comfortable. So I'm gonna play what I want to hear, and we're gonna roll on down this road. So I would uh Betty White, uh uh golly, man, I see Marcellus, you need to send me a message ahead of time for I can have all these things in order, because since the pandemic I don't go too many places, so um I'm unable to. I don't play them because I'm so busy. But you're gonna make me mess around and pull out some old stuff and be like, shoot, I I'll be if I have to go somewhere tomorrow, I'll be riding around playing that blues. Gotta do what I gotta do. What is that? Uh, golly, it's one song. Oh yeah, the blues is all right. That's how this the blues is all right. Hey, Little Milton. I'm telling you, the blues is all right. Um, it's one song. Uh, golly, my mind is just blank. Um, golly, I cannot think of that song. But getting caught. Well, first of all, Little Milton had a song. If you didn't come up and touch me, it wasn't me. So it, it's so many good songs that was out back then, and it's probably a lot of them still out today. Um, New songs, new artists coming up. That's why coming up for the new year and coming up for the new year, what we're gonna do, one of the changes we're gonna do, we want to support artists. So especially our local artists. If you are a local artist and putting out some good positive music, hit me up. Hit me up. We want to have days where we actually spotlight local artists and hit me up by email, and we have to support each other. So if you are a local artist, just hit me up and we'll do what we have to do to support you. That's why I try to support. I mentioned certain names of local artists. It's a lot of them, and that's the same thing I said about uh, unfortunately Mode 3. Um, I didn't know about him until he passed when I was doing my research on him, but he have some good music. If I knew about him, I probably would have listened to him because his deliverance of the music was good. So that's a big key when you are delivering certain type of music, and also delivering the music and your beat. If it sound good, hey, I'm all for it. I have family members that is in the industry also. Um, so, but if you are putting out good positive music, hey, send me an email. Let's hook up for the new year. We're gonna try to dedicate a day where we highlight local artists, make you know. So that's what it's all about. Uh, Trying to help everyone, and um, so that's always a good thing. But it's this one song where the guy was talking about, golly, see, I, I wish my wife was here. I would definitely uh, have her to bring my iPod if I could play it. Um, but radio, if you could, like I said, hook up, look at Sean Martin. Sean Martin, he do jazz. Just came out with a CD last month, 3-0. I'm telling you, it's bad. It's dope. Um, he also had one called Focus and 7 Summers. 7 Summers, Focus, and 3-0. Matter of fact, if you go to Bandcamp and go pull his name up, you can see it. He's on all music platforms. So definitely check it out. Matter of fact, he had put out a thing. Uh, I think his first week of releasing 3-0, think he had over 1 million streams on it. Um, for a jazz album, which was really good. So that's the type of music he put out. And matter of fact, go to YouTube and Google him, because if you never heard Sean Morton live, you missing a treat. Um, and he was doing a jazz show here every year, but due to COVID, got pushed back. But uh, also before COVID, he would do go-go parties a couple of times a year. If you never been to a go-go party, you missing out on a lot of stuff. Um, I don't know about the money wise. That's none of my business. But from my from me, that's something that he loves. He loved music, so um, I don't I don't care about money wise, for the simple fact that's not what our friendship is built on. Sean Sean just a cool person. He don't care how famous he is. He just cool like that. And like I say all the time, you need friends in your life where they will be honest with you and tell you the truth. Sean is one of those brothers. He'll be straight up honest with you. If you're wrong, he'll tell you. So so I don't know nothing about the money wise. That ain't none of my business. Um, but if you want good music, pull up Sean Morton. I can tell you that much, because once you pull him up, you'll be like, man. Um, I find myself sometimes when I go to the gym, I'm in there listening to him, and uh, he had one cut on there on Seven Summers called "Big Old Party." It's kind of a New Orleans type music. And uh, what's crazy with Seven Summers, the way that he did Big Party. Now I actually hear that in other songs. Some other artists, I've heard it in gospel song where they come out kind of like a New Orleans kind of beat toward the end of it. So Sean is a beast. I'm just saying, check him out. Um, I love to play the blues. I want to start a band. Uh, do you sing, or do you play instruments? Um, uh, they're saying they nearly reached the deal on the net stimulus check, including COVID relief. Um, so did you play any instruments or anything, Marcellus, or do you sing? Or you gotta have the right voice to sing the blues. Yeah, everybody just can't get up there and sing the blues. I sing it in the shower, in the car or something, but that's about it. Yeah, well, that's with anything actually. Singing is not my calling. Um, but yeah, um, hey, if you had that passion to start a band, do it. 2021, make it happen. You could do anything you put your mind to. That's with anybody. If you have a passion to do something, uh, definitely do it. Um, oh, you sing and play the keyboard. Well, you already have a good advantage over most folks. No, I haven't. I'm gonna pull them up there. Um, let me see. Uh, uh, is that the one that was killed in? Oh, no, that can't be them. Are they still alive, radio? Because I'm seeing when I Google that name, um, okay, no, let me take that back. That was okay, American jazz pianist. Okay, wrong person. I'm finna say, hold on now. Um, she looked like she could play. When you see, um, I just have a thing about somebody who, when they come up, they look like they cannot play, but when they come up and had her glasses on, yeah, she looked like she could play. Um, I'm gonna have to check her out. She from Tacoma, Washington, so I'm gonna have to check her out. And she seemed like she can play pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check her out. Uh, I'm gonna have to check her out because she seemed like she pretty good. Oh, okay. Well, you know, BB King, he would work with anybody. He was just that type of guy. He didn't care who it was. He would work with them, and that was uh, that was just him. If a person could play, he was like, "Hey, let's do this." Um, so BB King, he was just one of those type. He didn't care. He's kind of like me when it come down to podcasts. Everybody have um their own niche. I feel like it's no competition. And that's how BB King did. He felt like it was no competition. It was just having fun, playing music, and it was just a fun thing for him because that's the passion he had. And I'm okay to it. Okay with it. My whole family can sing and play some kind of instrument. Man, that's pretty good right there, Marcella. Well, uh, how many of y'all is it? Somebody need to step up like Joe, Joe Jackson. Be like, hey, y'all, let's do this. Let's not sleep on this gift that we have. Let's put it to use. Um, I met a truck driver years ago, probably about 7, 8 years ago, and this guy, uh, hey, I feel you. Everybody, they might do it, but everybody, everybody don't want to be a part of it. Uh, T Cal gave you a thumbs up. We all do gospel though. It's nothing wrong with gospel. See what I didn't say. Sean Martin actually do gospel. He's jazz, but he also do gospel. So um, it's it's okay. You use the gift that God gave you in any way you can. So definitely take advantage of it. This guy I met about 7, 8 years ago, and I haven't talked to him in a while. Last time I tried to call, his number was disconnected or something. But he gave me this CD, and we had stopped we was at a truck stop, and we was in North Carolina. And at this particular truck stop, we was the only two that look alike there. So we spoke. Think we both was getting gas, getting our trucks inspected. That's what it was, getting inspection on our truck. So we spoke. We out there talking. Then we said, you know what? He was from that area. He was like, man, I stop here all the time. So we went in there and sat down, ate lunch together, talked, and he started talking about how he have a band. And he said, man, check out my CD. While you driving down the road, just put it in. It sound good. And I actually did it. And he said, you know, that CD, I made it in my kitchen. And it sounded good. And when I was listening to it, it was one song I would just play over and over. That's how good it sounds. So And I was like, man, I wonder where the guy is today, but I have nowhere getting in contact with him. Matter of fact, I can't even remember his name. That's how long it been. But at one point, we would talk all the time while we was on the road. Then all of a sudden, we lost contact. Call number disconnected. He called me later on, like a year or so later, gave me his new number. Called him back the following week. It was off. So T-Cal said, "Gospel is where it's at." You know how many people stop the genre of music to go to gospel? Do your thing. Hopefully, listen or y'all get connected. Yeah, because the dude was cool. And I still play that CD from time to time. If I'm driving or something, I might be trying to change it from the satellite to and hear it. I'll be like, oh yeah, let me go and listen to this. It's been a while. So the guy was pretty good. Um, a lot of artists actually started in the church. So that's the key. A lot of them, a lot of the big name artists started in the church. Look at James Brown. Well, James Brown, of course, he grew up in a juke joint, but when he went to prison and he met the guy, and the guy brought him home, and they started playing gospel. Um, started playing gospel, and oh, that was new. Hold on, I just seen something. Hold on. Oh, see, I learn something new every time. Um, let me see if this is gonna work. Uh, they've been changing. They've been changing our system quite a bit. So I believe it came up. Yeah. Uh, see, I didn't know that. I can actually respond back to you. Don't think I'm gonna be responding back to y'all. But I wonder if let me check something else out because I seen another feature on there. Okay, no, they have the block the block feature on some of them, but not on that last dude. Uh, yeah, Fantasia. A lot of artists got they start in the church. Tina Turner came from the church when she was a child. Um, Matter of fact, Joe Lagun, Mighty Clouds of Joy, came from the church. Then he strayed away and started doing some other type of songs, as he say, "Pray for me." Um, but then he found his way back. Um, so it's um, it's a lot of good things. A lot of good artists start in the church, and it's okay. I don't care what type of music you play. Be your best at it. Be your best. That's all that's important. Be your best and do what you have to do. Fantasia, Casey, and JoJo, our cousin, Bobby Womack, is their uncle. See, I didn't know Bobby was their uncle, but you know, KC, he just came out with they've been playing a gospel song by him here recently, which is actually pretty good. See if I can pull up the name of it. Uh, I've heard it several times on Series XM. Um, and I actually seen like a personal video of them. I guess him and Fantasia was at the same place, and they just started singing gospel. And I'm like, man, that was cool. Jesus Save by Casey Haley, which is pretty good. Now Casey, every if you man, that could be a whole show. Actually, he have a couple of songs that he have out that are gospel. Tears in Heaven. Uh yeah, he have a lot of new songs that came out. So but you know, a lot of these artists, um and I'm gonna wait before I say that because that could be a whole show. Um and I would like to know. Um okay, see, I didn't know that. Is that a gospel artist or gospel album, or is it just uh which one? Let me see. Um but KC, he's always been a great singer when him and Jodeci came out. Um I think if Jodeci was good, but I don't think without KC voice, I don't think they would have been that popular. That's my opinion. Um Now I know JoJo, he was okay, but um I don't think he would have been that popular without. I don't think Jodeci would have been that popular without KC. Cause KC just had one of those type of voice that he starts singing, people gonna listen. So uh, and I'm all for it. It's okay to change what you love. Um, it doesn't make a difference what type of music you put out. I'm just saying put out positive stuff. That's what we need today is more positive music. And there's so many great artists out here. Um, we need to support them. Because a lot of time, I don't know for sure, but sometimes some of the artists, we never hear about artists getting a stimulus package because it's like, hey, we need to look out for them too. Oh, see, you trying to start a whole nother show now. Um, New Edition was good before Johnny King, but I think on certain songs, Johnny enhanced them. But New Edition was good. Of course, by the time we never know about the behind the scene things that's going on. So behind the scenes, we didn't hear about uh, all the um, all the fighting that was going on. A lot of people didn't know about it until the movie came out. Now, I've always loved New Edition because I came up in an era when Teddy Pendergrass yelling at women, tell them turn off those lights, turn them off. So I grew up listening to stuff like that, and uh, with Teddy, um, man, Al Green, love and happiness. Mm. When you hear that beat, dun, 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 oh yeah. Um, so to answer that question, it's kind of hard to say. It was certain songs they did that was good. I feel like those are type of groups I could listen to all day long. All day long. I wouldn't say y'all are crazy, but it take a lot to be a drummer because if the drummer is off beat, that can mess up the whole song. Um, Matter of fact, I seen this thing that um they was talking about a drummer the other day. I forgot what they called them. It was actually an article someone put on Twitter about Sean. Uh, and they was talking about the drummer that was with him, I want to. They called the drummer something. Uh, Golly, I cannot even find. Oh, this might be it. Um, but they called the drummer something, and they were like, "Hey, nah, that's not it." Uh, uh, I would have to get back with it, but I seen something he posted the other day on Twitter. Um, to be a drummer, I feel like that's one of the most important part of a band because without the drummer, if the drummer is off beat, everybody gonna sound bad because the drummer, the drum is gonna be louder than majority. Now that's my opinion. I may be wrong because I'm not in the music industry. I'm just saying. Uh, that's my opinion of it. You got to be coordinated to play drums. My brother plays. See, because I've heard some people. Uh, the drum is a tenth of a second flow, and that mess up the whole song. So you definitely have to be on beat when you become a drummer. There's a lot of great drummers that don't get the credit. Um, I was trying to think of what was man, I cannot think of that uh oh wow. See, that's a workout within itself because I feel like you got to be in pretty good shape to play drums because you got to be able to move to the beat. You cannot be flow on moving. Uh, you gotta keep it rolling. Um, so that's a good thing. Um, also, yeah, 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day. Radio walking around with some Popeye arms. um, so it's a lot of great music. You say you play funk also. Um, you ever heard of Snarky Puppies? Radio. You ever heard of Snarky Puppy? Which is another great. I guess they consider as a um. I guess they kind of like uh. I guess a punk band or something. But either way, they bad. They are great. Um. Okay. All right. It's all in the wrist. If you use your arm, you'll be on the flow. Um, so definitely I'm all about get good music. I don't care who it is, long as it's good. Matter of fact, I seen this show not too long ago. Um, it happened up in Oklahoma, I believe, just north of Dallas, and it was some guy, and I cannot remember the name of it. Matter of fact, um, I keep mentioning Sean, but Sean was playing on that show, and this guy that came on before Sean. Looking at him, I was like, "Can this dude sing?" Um, but once the guy started performing, I'm like, "Wait a minute, this dude pretty good." Uh, so that was like, wow. Sean is a part of them too. So, uh, like I said, Sean play a little bit of everything. Um, I'm telling you, if check him out, check him out. Like I said, you're on YouTube, pull him up, and uh, just watch some of his videos because he's a bad boy. Matter of fact, I think the one before the last one, before COVID hit, um, he did a go-go party here in Dallas, and tell you how bad he is. We have an area called Deep Ellum, down in Deep Ellum, and when at the end of the night they was playing so good, Sean actually took it to the street, literally took it to the street. Him and the band came out of the club playing the music, and down there on the street in front of the club, he was playing, and people just followed him out as they was playing. Cars stopping in the middle of the road to watch and listen. Um, and I'm like, dude, that dude is great. He's a genius because he do what he love, and he's awesome. I'm like, hey, that's my boy. I talk about him all the time, but um, I would tell you uh, to definitely follow him. So uh, hold on, there's something came out about the NFL. Uh, this just popped up. So check out Dennis Chambers, one of the greatest front drummer. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull them up too. I have Diane pulled up. I'm gonna have to pull them up. Hold on, trying to see what the NFL is saying. Okay, so the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said the NFL is exploring ways to have fans at the Super Bowl, especially healthcare workers. Goodell fired off a letter to Rob Higgins, president at the Tampa Bay Super Bowl host committee, informing him of the league plan to reward the frontline workers who have busted their asses during the COVID pandemic. We're currently discussing with public health officials our desire to invite vaccinated health care workers to the Super Bowl as our guests, Goodell say in a letter obtained by NFL Network. Um, so that's cool. So the NFL is trying to get the um, frontline workers to the Super Bowl. I wonder if they just gonna pick uh, out of Tampa, or if they actually gonna bring workers from all over. Um, uh, Bring them from all over. Um, so that's that'll be interesting. I think that would be a good justice, a good thing to do. But if we are still in a pandemic, would they have the time to break away if our numbers are still high? Um, I kind of hit on it yesterday that the owner of Pfizer said he didn't want to skip line to take the vaccination. But if this vaccination is so good, why you won't take it? You develop it. I'm just saying. And this new vaccination that's supposed to come out, they're saying it's more effective than Pfizer. So I don't know, but I'm gonna wait. If I can wait, I'm gonna wait. Um, so it's just one of those things. But um, yeah, um, this have really been an interesting night. Marcellus, next time, man, give me a head up. You want to talk about music? Because I could have had my blues case in here, and we could have went through it, and then we could have really talked about it because there's so many different artists out there. And what's crazy, when I used to DJ, I had so many had so many CDs, and so many of them. So um, I could when I'm playing, I be in a zone and I'm just thinking, okay, what's I hear a song and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what song coming up next, and then I automatically think of one that I have that will go with the song that is currently playing. And I didn't believe in stopping music, so I used to also DJ at this club over in Arlington back in the days called the Black Pearl. It was the oldest black club in Arlington at the time. Back then, BB King, Bobby Blue Bland, all of them used to go to the Black Pearl. Now, the Black Pearl was one way in, one way out. And there was a DJ that was there before I started working there. He was a local DJ, DJ Polo. And when I first went there, um, one of my good friends, Erica, had she did open mic, and she wanted me to come up and play music. So I did it. They liked what I did with open mic, and they were like, "Hey, every once in a while we need a fill in DJ. Can you fill in?" Okay, cool. Met DJ Polo, great guy. Um, Came in. I One thing I've learned early in life: do me. Don't try to follow nobody else's footstep. And the first night I was there, I actually tried to play like him. He played a lot of rap, which that's cool. Well, I said that first night, that Friday night, I came in, played like him, and you can't do that all the time. You got to mix it up. If you playing a lot of hardcore stuff, it's gonna get people mind thinking, and that's where you're gonna have problems at. So that first night we had a fight. I said, okay. That next night I came a little bit prepared. I said, look, uh, I'm gonna play my way. And I came in about the last hour. I changed the tone. Um, I would always mix it up, but when you see a somebody who's supposed to be a gangster, but they in the middle of the dance floor singing Lenny Williams, "Cause I Love You," that changed the tone, because at the end of the night, they not concerned about who stepped on their feet, who bumped into them. Only thing they thinking about, man, which one of these honeys I'm gonna be able to pick up tonight. So when you do that, you kind of set the tone for everything. That's why I say a great pastor I know, Marcus King, he actually said, he did a sermon one time. He said, you know, what you listen to in the morning, it can set your tone for that day. Now, this was after I used to DJ. I've always thought that. And when I was DJing parties, clubs, whatever, I would I always had that mindset. Toward the end of the night, I break it down, play old school, um, play a little old school R&B, and that got people mind off of whatever issues they had earlier that night. They got their mind on something different now. So that's the way I used to do it, and I loved it. I used to love DJing. Um, wasn't even about the money. Uh, it was about the way that I made people feel, because somebody can come in and having a bad day, but they listen to some good music, and they'll forget about the bad day they had, just for the simple fact they got their drink and they got some good music going. So only thing they want to do is have a good time. So um, but that's a little bit about me. Uh, Marcellus, next time, give me a head up. Matter of fact, I think I need to tell y'all, if y'all gonna ask for something uh, in particular about me, send me a message or something. Give me heads up. I don't mind answering them off the top, but when they're dealing with music like that, I like to be prepared because it's been so long since I dust off the cases to look at some of them. So, um, but I think I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. So, um, mess around and have some drive, have some playing tomorrow. If I have, well, I do have to go out tomorrow, have an appointment. So, I might be playing some of those songs tomorrow. But also tomorrow on the show, we're gonna hit on a couple of news stories, but we're gonna have a serious talk about health tomorrow. So, so definitely tune in and how important it is to get checked out. Um, so we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Miss Risky gonna talk about the reason why she wasn't here last week, and um, we're gonna talk about it. And then also we're gonna talk about man, it's what's today, the 16th? It's almost Christmas time, 9 days away. So and tomorrow is our last show for the year. So definitely um we're gonna talk about pretty much a lot of stuff tomorrow. But most importantly, Miss Risk is gonna talk about the reason why she wasn't here and the importance of making sure we're doing our part to get checked out. So that will be on tomorrow. And also I told y'all to remind me, um, come 2021, uh I'm also see this some BS. I'm also uh try to make sure I remember to open up the phone lines uh on every show. So not unless, well, on every show I'm gonna try to make sure I open up the phone lines for we can have you call in and express your opinion. Whatever is on your mind. And see, we need to get rid of Ken Paxton. This dude, I'm not gonna even go there because now he filed the lawsuit against against the election results, and it just came out that now he taking the lead once more. Today, we're filing a lawsuit against Google. And I think I read something about Trump filed the lawsuit against Facebook. I'm telling y'all, he's doing this to try to get a pardon from Trump. That's what he's doing it for. But the problem is, he only been charged with one crime so far, but the FBI is investigating the other one. And I don't see them announcing any charges until January 21st. So Ken Paxton, you need to go on and get your affairs in order because you need to go to jail. But hey, I really appreciate all of y'all. Let me write this name down, Dennis Chambers, because I'm a. As soon as I get off, I'm actually gonna uh, listen to both of them. Oops. Oh, he's a drummer. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to. Oh, he from Baltimore, so you already know. Oh, he played with Parliament. Come on now, you know he's already uh already in there. Um, he played with P Funk. Man, I like going back and listening to some old P Funk, watching some old videos of P Funk, like when the mothership landed. Yeah, uh, yeah, Dennis, it playing with P Funk, you had to be on tune. You didn't have a choice about that because uh, old George, he was like, no, we're uh, we're on point with that. I'm trying to see what was that. Uh, uh, I was trying to think what they call that drummer that playing with Sean, but um, he's a bad man. Most drummers are pretty good because you're not going to be on drums unless you are good. Um, that's why I say I think that's one of the most. The drum can kind of lead you. I think the drum then keyboard uh, are the two most important part of a band. Um, Keyboard or piano, either one. Uh, I feel like those are the two most important part because you can have people that can't hold a note that good, but if that drum and keyboard going good and drowning that voice out, that drum and keyboard can change the whole act of it. So um, yeah, but once I seen who Dennis was, oh yeah, I already know he's good. He been in the game since '78. So being in the game, you're not gonna be in the game that long if you're not good. Uh, and he was oh, he played for Santana also. Uh, he was on the Sugar Hill record label. Yeah, you're not gonna be in the game since '78 unless you are good. You're not gonna make it if you're not. So that's a that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check out some of his stuff, and we might have to do a show about just music one day, and uh, just different type of music. Also, tomorrow night, want to know what is your go-to Christmas songs tomorrow night? Uh, um, there's a lot of them out there, but I think the most I'm sure it is. Most drummers solos are dope. They don't get a solo unless you are unless you are really really good. And what I'm looking at with him, once I seen P Funk on there, Parliament, I'm like, oh yeah, because that was some that was some dope music back then. It's still dope today. So Parliament, there's nothing you can really say wrong about them. Um, Man, you're gonna have me up all night up here playing old videos of, of different musicians and stuff. Be like, come on now. And the way that I'm looking at his website and the way that he's playing, it's like it ain't nothing. Like he just it's natural to him. So um they say you could book a video call with him. Uh I guess you could call him also. That would be good. Yeah, I'm, I'm telling you, it's a lot of artists today. There's some great artists out there. Uh, Dennis Chambers. Yeah, that's a bad man. Exactly, because on his website, one of the pictures on his website, if like he's playing, but he have his shades on and he's sitting there like it ain't nothing, and you could tell he's playing because the way the drumsticks are moving, and he just sitting there like, hey, this ain't nothing. Let's have a good time. So I kind of got some nice yellow drums. They look pretty nice. Oh yeah, he know what he doing. Well, he been in it since '78. He gotta know what he doing. So he's definitely. I'm gonna have to check him out, look more into it, and I'm sure some. Oh, they have videos on here, some clips on here. So I'm gonna go back and listen to some of his clips and stuff. They got some from 1990, from '85, uh, from Germany. Then they have a drum solo from 2006. Yeah, I seen something when I put his name in. They ask about his health. Um, Let me see if I can get a update on it. Um, well, I guess in 2016, what I'm seeing, he talked about life and near death. Um, that was on March 2nd, 2016. He discussed that on a drama world. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do some homework on that and take a look at it. But hey, that's one thing we're gonna talk about tomorrow is health and the importance of it because a lot of time in this work in this life we take our health for granted, but we need to with everything that's going on, we still need to take care of our health. I'm sure that was a concert. Just I would love to go to a concert like that where you have some real good music. You know, it's worth the money. It's worth the money to go to, and I'm sure that was off the chain. Seen them 7 times. Um, I like man. There's so many different artists I like. I have artists from each side. Of course, I always support local. Kurt Franklin, Fred Hammond, of course, Sean Martin. But one of um, and each one of those people I met, even RC and the Grits, they all cool down to earth. But one artist that is real popular that I can I relate to all of them, but Lee Williams in the Spiritual QC, that's a gospel artist. Um, when I first met him, it was like we've been knowing each other for years because he have a background in driving trucks. And when I met him, he asked me what I did for a living. I told him. He said, "Oh man, I used to drive trucks. I still have my CDL because you never know if the singing not gonna work out. I might have to get back on that road." And so we were told his people was charging people to take pictures with him. He said, "You have your camera on you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come on, let's take a picture." And I still have the picture today of us together, which which was a wonderful experience. And every time I seen him, he remembered who I was. "Man, you still driving trucks?" "Yes, sir." "Man, I still have my CDL. Never know when this singing not gonna work out." So he ended up retiring from gospel because he had some health issues, and um, I think his son took his spot. But Lee Williams was always cool. I love his music because a lot of his music when he first came out, when I started listening to him, it was "Can't Run, Can't Hide," and that was the first song I heard from him. And I purchased that CD. and you talking about uh, as you reading the Bible and you reading the Bible, then you read a scripture like, oh wow, this is where Lee got this song from. So that's why I really like him, and he was down to earth. So, but definitely, it's a lot of great artists out here. Um, we got to show them love while they here. Um, how we used to hear all the time, starving artists, but right now during the pandemic, it's a lot of them. If you can support the local artists, definitely do it. If they put out new music, it take a lot. I would assume it take a lot of money to put out music. So go to a Bandcamp, um, whatever platform you listen to music on, and listen to them, support them because it's important. They have families that they have to take care of, and let's support them. I try to support them. I have a Lexus behind me, so if I'm back here working on something during the day, I cut it on to some of the local artists and try to support them any way I can. And so definitely do that. But tomorrow night, don't forget 8 p.m. Central Time. It's our last show of the year. Miss Risky will be here. She's gonna give her testimony of what she went through last week, and hopefully we can provide help for someone. And as always, if it's anyone that is a counselor, even a uh, in that deal with natural health, um, because we want to talk about that coming up in the new year, trying to um, get our bodies right, healthy wise, before it's too late. As for me, like I said, uh, last month, between last month, this month, I scaled last week. I lost 11 pounds. I'm still working out and looking at my picture in the monitor. I'm like, man, this shirt a little bit too big for me now. So, so definitely we need to focus on health coming up next year, and try to put ourselves in a better position. And then uh, counseling. I'm gonna try to work with the counselor. I would love to have a counselor on every week talking about mental health. Um, not only mental health, but hell, we've been in a pandemic. It's about to be a year here pretty soon, so we need to hit on all of that because there's a lot of people stressed out, that is going through a lot. So we have some great shows coming up for the new year. We working on some new things. We're gonna do new things, and it's gonna be wonderful. So until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, I love each and every one of you, regardless of who you are, and there's nothing you could do about it. I'm gonna love you to death. It doesn't matter. But also, we need to come together as people and love each other, respect each other. So until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, Miss Risky will be in the house. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about health. We're gonna talk about let her give her testimony, and then we're gonna talk about Christmas, which will be 8 days away. So let's do that tomorrow night. Until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. I love each and every one of you. Until then.